review. So we're all going to take about two things that we brought from this weekend of football and talk about what we think the most important are. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off. And the first thing that I want to talk about is what I was talking about last week is Lane Kiffin. What did I say? I said Lane Kiffin is going to LSU. That's right, Taylor. Listen up. I said he's going to LSU and he is losing. I called it from the start, and guess what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you. Talked about it last week. He will be the head coach of Florida. It's just simple. I didn't like how Jackson Dart was playing this year. I did not like how their defense was playing. Excuse me, not their defense. My bad. I meant their offensive line. I did not
I was
like how
about
their
to
offense.
say.
Yeah, their defense is fine. I was talking about their offensive line, and it kind of showed at the end, especially Jackson Dart. He did not look good, especially in the fourth quarter and overtime. He should have threw two picks easy that could have ended the game even earlier. But the main thing for me about Lane Kiffin is his inability to win the big games. He just never has been able to do it. He flies by on the edge of his seat every single year. And then eventually, every year, he plays the team that just knocks him out every single time. I have a stat right here. And then for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, he is 3-15 versus top 10 teams. I don't think LSU was top 10 last week, or they might have been close, but it doesn't matter. If your record is 3-15 versus top 10 teams, especially in the SEC West, you're just not going to be able to cover. You're not going to be able to win. You're not going to be able to stay a head coach on a team. I know Ole Miss hasn't really been a national championship team, but they want to be, and you're not going to be able to do that with them. Do you have any thoughts on that right there?
I mean, I do.
Go ahead.
I I don't really know if I blame Lane Kiffin for why they lost. That
You,
they Lane Kiffin didn't miss two field goals, and they should have been up 20, probably 20. I won't. I'll give them. They were in the red zone three times with 0 points, so They should have been up 17-0. But credit to LSU. I mean, Nussmeier.
he was
It
balling.
is. I guess he didn't really look that great. They dropped a lot of
Till the
picks.
end.
At the end, he started throwing some dimes.
No, I mean, yeah, and credit to him. I mean, like, two fourth down conversions on the final drive, and then whatever that attempted coverage was in the overtime. I mean, dude just fell down.
You know what, Taylor? Hold on a second. I'm gonna just come after you real quick. You know who I blame? I blame your Heisman favorite, Jackson Dart, Scrub Boy McGee. That's who I blame.
I had JT
Yeah.
first. He was second.
You were over there saying my dark horse. I want y'all to look at him.
Glazing them up. Glazing
Dark
them up.
horse, and favorite are two
Taylor,
different things.
all I know is after last week, your throat's probably sore from talking about him. But that's a whole different topic. Max, you have anything else to say?
About Ole Miss LSU.
Yeah, yeah. Or about Taylor?
I don't know. I mean, I thought Ole Miss probably should have won. I think they're probably a better team, but it's hard to go play in Death Valley, and you saw videos and stuff. It was rocking.
Yeah, yeah.
And Taylor's gay, so
Taylor,
just
can
thought
you confirm or deny these allegations?
Well, if I deny him, that means I'm gay, even gayer, correct? Because it's 2024.
when I snap my fingers, you'll forget you were ever gay.
No, I don't have anything else to add. LSU win. I mean, it's not like I lost sleep over it.
Yeah, I mean, also like Max made a great point. Tiger, I mean, Death Valley, night game.
Hard, man. It's hard.
We're going there later in the
We're
season.
going
It's
there.
already scary.
I'm scared already. Yep.
Mm-hmm. My second thing I need to talk about, and it is Oregon. So last week, I can't confirm or deny if I was hating on Dan Lanning. I really don't remember, but
you were.
You hated on him pretty hard.
Yeah, I think I said he lacked girth in one of my statements, and
you did say he was non-girth.
I will apologize to Mr. Lanning. He is girthy.
He's got length too.
Yeah, he's got it all, and that might have just been me being salty about him just refusing Alabama. I mean, we got a great coach anyway, but that did leave a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. But Oregon, I apologize. I was not familiar with your game. I assumed Ohio State would run it down y'all's throat and kind of just take it from y'all. But y'all look very good. Your defense played well. Your offense played well. Y'all kind of got bailed out by the refs a little bit at the end, but also Will Howard's actually very stupid, and he slid down on the last play of the game. I saw my king LeBron James tweet about it, and I'm with you, LeBron. He is very stupid for that. But
And
yes,
what I say last week? I
yeah,
said if it comes down to a last drive, I don't trust Will Howard. And what it come down to, and
Last
what he
drive.
do?
He
yeah,
went
He
down.
he.
he
I
fell
guess he
down.
just
He slid.
quit. Oh, well, he's like, well, we lost. I don't know what he's doing.
That is one thing I will say, Max. You nailed that game on the head, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Respect.
especially, yeah, I was kind of arguing about him playing at Kansas State, so he has played in big games, but you nailed it. He definitely made some mistakes at the end. But Taylor, do you have anything to add about that game?
I mean, I wish I'd have taken Oregon, but
Same.
yeah, I could tell early on that I had messed up in taking Ohio State because it is. Oregon did not start out great, but Ohio State didn't take advantage. Same thing Ole Miss didn't do with LSU, really.
Yeah,
and when
definitely.
when you're on the road, you got to stomp somebody on the throat pretty early.
Very similar games, like as
And I was
game,
watching
like on
them.
the road.
But that's all I got on that, man.
Okay, well, actually, we're gonna go to you, Taylor. What are your takeaways? Your two takeaways from this past weekend of football?
So I'm gonna save a more obvious one for last, but my first one, it's about Vandy, but it's more about parity in the SEC in general.
Mhm.
And this is also something that Max can talk about later when we talk about Alabama. But man, I watched the last couple of weeks. I watched Missouri and Texas A&M last week. The league's getting that NFL vibe where you want to be the home team. If you're not the
Yeah.
home team and you're not way better than the other team, you might lose. A la Ole Miss LSU. Because I think I think in Ole Miss LSU wins that. I mean Ole Miss wins that. Sorry, in a neutral side, I think Ole Miss wins it. But Death Valley is hard to play at. Now, on a completely unrelated note to the home team thing, Vandy going to Kentucky, not even playing that great, and just kind of easily winning 20-13. I don't even think that score did it justice. I didn't really think Kentucky was going to win. Kentucky's in trouble. They got to play at Florida this week. Watch out for that. Kentucky's offense is terrible. Their defense is very good. But I mean, shout out to Vandy and that quarterback they got, man. He's the truth. And I'm very scared when we play them. So my last point.
Well, firstly, let me kind of jump in.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm
add
not
on
a
to
good
that.
host. But if anybody wants to add on, sorry guys.
Shut up.
I think a lot of us, I think all three of us picked against Vandy last week, right?
No.
Yes. Yes.
I know I did. I know Max
I did. Everybody picked Kentucky.
Oh, I
to
picked
cover.
Kentucky. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Vandy didn't have a good game, and I said like they weren't going to be able to play that good, but apparently they don't have to. Apparently they're just a good team. So I really thought Kentucky, especially at home, would be able to win that game, and I really thought that their defense doesn't struggle with what Alabama struggled with, which was the lanes and closing that space between it and getting to the quarterback quicker or the running back quicker. But apparently, Vandy does not.
I think it was more like Taylor said. Kentucky's offense is terrible. I mean, they couldn't do anything. And once Vandy gets on top of you and they can start running that clock, you're in trouble. And especially if you're not explosive and can go score real quick and try to get extra possessions. But
what's the Kentucky's quarterback name? Georgia transfer.
Vandergriff.
He had high expectations coming into this season, and one thing I'll say, we're halfway through the college football season right now. How sad is that? But as far as the regular season goes, but Vandergriff, he had some flashes when he was playing against Ole Miss where he actually I was like, okay, there's a reason he was at Georgia, but for all the other times that I've seen him, yeah, he has not been impressive. I don't know how much that speaks to him as a quarterback or the lack of weapons around him at Kentucky, but that's all I have.
Ole Miss's secondary is probably also not so good to judge on. Their secondary is terrible. Their defensive line good, but anybody else got anything on Vandy and the fighting Pavias? Is that what we call them?
Yeah, go ahead.
So and I'm kind of coming at Alex here on this one. Texas, my last take is Texas is the best team in the country. I mean, absolutely played with their food in a rivalry game, which Alex told me meant it was going to be close. This was like when you played like like football at Thanksgiving with like your little cousin, and you just you make sure you win so he does shut up, but you don't like run over him, and you don't. There was no point in this game where I think Texas ever had to take this game seriously. It just was not close. Oklahoma's offense might be worse than Kentucky's. And I just talked about how bad Kentucky's offense is. I think we will learn, and I'm going to toss this to y'all to talk about, but I think we'll learn. I have them as the best team in the country right now, but we will learn this weekend probably whether they are or not. Is anybody else got anything to add on Texas?
That's what we'll learn. We'll learn this weekend. That's my objection. Yes, I rank them number 1 so far right now. Until this weekend, we'll find out because, yeah, they've looked good, but their 2 best wins are against teams that can't throw the football. So that's not hard to beat. When the other team can't throw the ball forward, it makes it a whole lot easier. Georgia can throw it. We'll find out this weekend, though.
One thing I would like to add to that is, you know what? You pick some, you say some stuff, and sometimes you're just wrong. And
not me.
Yeah, not Max, but I took a lot of bold statements last week, and I'll take it on the chin. I'll admit I was wrong about a lot of them. And especially about Quinn Ewers in Texas and Oklahoma being able to cover. I really didn't think about the fact how bad Oklahoma's offense was, and I did kind of just glaze over the spot that they were missing a bunch of wide receivers. And I thought they might be able to do something, Red River Rivalry, a lot of historical games, a lot of great games, and that last one was not one of them. They, like you said, Taylor, Texas just owned them the whole entire time. But that's all I have. There's a lot of me going back on statements this week and saying I don't know ball, but that's okay. I'll know ball this week. Y'all will see. I'll prove them wrong. All right, Max, go ahead and go to your 2 takeaways of this weekend.
I'm just going to talk about Alabama a little bit. That game had me almost wrecking while I was driving back from Troy Saturday. Yes, South Carolina has a great defensive line, but Alabama struggles again, and they don't look. Really, the offense struggled. That was really the most disappointing thing is how much the offense struggled. The defense did struggle later on in the game, but overall, I think the defense made enough plays to win the game, but the offense weren't in rhythm. Jalen didn't have a good game. He was off. He wasn't in rhythm very well, and he didn't look very explosive as he usually does, but we'll find out this weekend if Alabama's any good or not. And the second take is Penn State and USC. That was a really good game. It's kind of back and forth. USC went up early. Penn State came back. Drew Aller threw 2 early interceptions that looked just absolutely dumb. I guess the coach went over there and slapped him on the neck because then late in the game he turned up and came in clutch. Had 2 long 4th down conversions that he made. And Penn State's a real contender in the Big Ten. So it's Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State. That's your 3 teams in the Big Ten. We'll see who wins it out.
I would like to jump in and go back to Alabama for a second. Something is going on with our team, and it's really strange to see because it's not like we don't have the talent. We all saw how we played against Georgia, and hopefully it is just, we're kind of just in a slump right now. But if we don't wake up this weekend, I mean, season's over. We don't have enough tough games to play that will get us back in the college football playoff conversation. I don't think. I mean, maybe.
Go ahead.
If LSU wins out, then yeah, and if Andy helps us out and has a good season, then yeah. But I think it'd be really close, and it'd be in a spot I wouldn't want to be in. It'd be in an 11-10 like area that if we were to make it, but
That's the thing that I'm saying is if yes, if we this game,
it's
I don't
huge.
think necessarily it's a must win, but I think it's huge.
It's a must that we can't get killed.
Yes, we can't
if
get killed.
we play
We
like
can't
we
get
have
killed.
been, we might get killed. But I will say,
Yeah.
obviously, Tennessee's been playing bad too.
Tennessee's been playing bad too, so I think both teams are kind of going into this one, little, their ass is a little
Nervous.
tight,
Yeah.
What kind of pussy move was Billy Napier with the not going for two instead of kicking the extra point? What the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I get it. LSU didn't either, but they're at home and they have playoff aspirations. Dude, you're trying to save your fucking job and you need to win to beat
You
Tennessee.
get that win, yeah.
You go get the win because you're probably not going to win in overtime. That's so fucking soft. Billy Napier, you're soft as shit. Sorry.
You don't have to say that. He's
agree.
getting fired, so.
Yeah, I mean, but yep. I mean, all those takes. Any other things we want to discuss, or we want to go into our next segment, guys?
I don't have anything on Alabama. I'll know everything this week on Alabama and Tennessee. That's
Okay.
all right. I'm in on that.
All right. So now we're going to go into our next segment. And you kind of heard me discuss some of mine already, but these are going to be our cold takes of last week. So this is just going to be us owning up to what we said last week and maybe providing some thoughts, some clarity for y'all who heard us say some maybe foolish, maybe not very smart, maybe just being idiots. Taylor, you're up first, buddy. What do you have to say about Dillon Gabriel?
Dillon Gabriel, I was unfamiliar with your games. He proved me wrong. I didn't think he could win a big game. Now, maybe it shouldn't count because he was playing Will Howard, but besides the point, I mean, no, he got me. He played a great game. He really did actually look like who they brought him in to be for the first time this year. So I can't really, I can't say anything. He got me.
Taylor,
You missed some.
I want you to say 3 words, okay? I was wrong.
I was kind of not right.
That's also acceptable. I'll go ahead and get into mine. I already mentioned it earlier. Texas, Quinn Ewers, I apologize. I was really confident in Oklahoma, and when you really come down and think about it, it doesn't make much sense for why I was confident in them. Maybe I want to be edgy. Maybe I'm just
Edged.
that guy. Yeah, maybe I was edging a little bit. But I will no longer edge to Oklahoma. I will only be a part of Texas. And I think you will hear me the rest of this year give you all the respect you deserve, and especially Quinn Ewers. You played well. Archie Manning is waiting behind you, but maybe look behind your shoulder a couple times because he's right there. But and now we have Max. Max, we're in a kind of a difficult spot for you here because I mean you were wrong about games, but I don't really think you said.
I got one. I got
one. Okay.
We kind of already talked about it earlier, but Kentucky. We all chose Kentucky to cover, and they got whooped. Not by scoreboard wise, but they got out physical and got ran all over like Vandy's been doing. I was wrong about that. I'm a Vandy's my daddy. Kind of guy now.
Yeah, I think us as the Bama fans, we kind of have to really reflect on that. And realize.
I mean, that's fine with me as long as we own Georgia. We own Georgia and Auburn, and Vandy can own us. That's fine.
Yeah, if Vandy owns us, that's okay.
Vandy can be the ultimate daddy.
Yeah, I'm down with it.